Andrea Evers for three, and it's good.
Out on three ball, yes sir!
Caroline Morton for three, and she buries that one.
Potts now saves it inbound. It'll be to Copeland, to Upshaw. Layup good!
Line into Johnson, open inside, lays it up and scores.
No good, but Bueller with a slam back home.
3-2, a shot, and it is good.
What about you, Raiders?
You guys had a nice win streak heading into Western. Unfortunately, it wasn't the result you wanted, but if you look at the major stats, it came down to free throws, three-pointers, and points off turnovers. Are those the three keys that you thought were the reason to that game?
Well, it's hard to win a game, when you got your free throw discrepancy as much as 28-10. I've been in this 40 years, and that's kind of one of the things you look at, and you see a game, and you get, where maybe they shoot 28, 29 free throws, and you shoot 21 or 22, or they shoot 15 or 16 and you shoot 16 or 17, you pretty well know that the running up and down the floor and the way the two teams were, that it was a pretty good call game. But when you go to seeing the discrepancy of 40-4 or 40-5 or 28-10, you're bordering on. But the officiating really wasn't that bad. I thought that we did a poor job recognizing what they were doing quick enough. We may have recognized it when we were in the shot clock with 8 or 10 seconds, but we should have recognized what was going on with 20, 22 seconds on the shot clock. I thought we had 15 open looks at threes and we hit 2. Now those 15, I'd say 13 of them was probably uncontested. So we're a better three-point shooting team than we showed. We had 21 turnovers, I think, and you can't win big games like that game at Bowling Green with 21 turnovers. You cut that down to 15, we're in the game. And I think they only had 8 turnovers. So that tells you we really were not pressuring the basketball as much as we should have pressured it either. So there was a lot of intangibles there that when you put all of them together, that we didn't deserve to win the game. They played harder. They knocked down their free throws and took care of the basketball, and we didn't. So, what we got to do is go on to another day, and we'll have another chance.
You guys did go on to another day against Marshall. You guys picked up a nice road victory, 79-73. You guys had 19 assists to 29 field goals. Talk about that team win.
Well, I thought that we really a lot of people say, hey, y'all, the coaching staff brought them back. I disagree with that. I think our players brought themselves back. I think the long ride, the 3.5-hour ride to Marshall from Bowling Green, I think knowing we had a short turnaround, we played at 12 o'clock, I really think they did some soul searching. And I think they knew they didn't play well. Now, our coaches were putting a scout together and trying to make sure that we knew what they were going to do and all that. But I think when it really came down to it, the bottom line is I think our players, Ty, Sism, Bria, Alex, Becca, Gabby, Tiana, I really think that Caroline, that they just got together and said, hey, that was not us. We came out and we did a good job at Marshall early, good enough that we were able to hang on. We knew they had a good team. This is the same team that just kind of dominated UTEP. No one's done that. And this is a team that had been very successful all year in their facility, their gym, and it was on their senior night. And that's always a dangerous time to play, because teams are going to play hard, they're going to play tough, they're going to be overly motivated. And I think when it got down to the last 4 or 5 minutes, I think Marshall kind of turned it on, knocked down some threes and did some things that I'm glad they hadn't been doing all day.
Individually, you look at someone coming off your bench, Tiana Porter, 13 points. How important is that for her to continue that production going forward?
Well, it's really important. Tiana and Becca, they come off the bench at that post position, and they either relieve Johnson or they relieve Gabby, and they all get an opportunity to showcase their skills. Tiana did a good job. I thought Becca did a good job. I think a lot of Becca had 9 points, and most of those points came, 7 of them I think came in that second quarter when we really needed someone, and then there late, she knocked down 2 big-time free throws. So we got, if you look at it, we got 22 points off of Becca and Tiana, and we needed them. They just did what they had to do for us to win the game. I said it was a win by our team, and if you look at all the players that contributed, it was a big win by our team. I mean, you didn't just have one person doing it all. Now, Bree had 14 points and I think 11 rebounds, but you look at what Caroline did. She hit a big-time 3, knocked down some free throws down the stretch. Ty hit a big 3. Sis finally got it going, knocked down a 3 at a crucial time for us, and then we go back to the other end, she fouls. But, you know, every time that we were challenged, someone, and not the same person, stepped up and did something positive.
If you look at it, Bria Edwards overall in the season, she has 7 double-doubles. This past weekend, she had 2 in both games. Talk about the season she's having, because most people, they haven't really noticed her rebounding as of late, but if you look back, she's been having some of those double-doubles early in the season.
Undersized, really has probably less vertical jump anybody on the team, no lateral quickness, just gets the job done. Just gets the job. Goes in and rips rebound after rebound after rebound. She's got great upper body strength. She's got tremendous basketball IQ. She has a knack for knowing where the basketball is going to come off, and once she gets her hands on it, she pretty well secures it.
We've sat here and talked about Alex Johnson putting herself in position to be a Hall of Famer. We just talked about Bria Edwards. Someone we haven't really talked about, Ty Petty, 8 assists, 1 turnover on Sunday. She ties Chrissy Givens at 3rd for assists in a single season, 5 behind Courtney Jones at 2nd, and 31 from tying 1st. I know that's not on her mind, but talk about the season she's had in putting herself in the record books.
Pretty good company. You know, if you look at what those young ladies have accomplished at Middle Tennessee, Ty Petty's put herself in pretty good company. Very, very unselfish player. Very, very team-oriented player. Just wants to win. Has absolutely no... when she looks at herself, she's not looking at herself as an all-star. She looks at herself as a leader of our basketball team. What can I do to put our team in a position to win? Do I need to knock down a 3? Do I need to make a post feed inside? Do I need to slash? Do I need to defend? Do I need to deny the basketball? I mean, she's always thinking, and she's always placing her teammates first. And you know what? You don't get that out. You don't get that out of players nowadays. She's an old-fashioned player in the new age.
You have 2 games remaining in the regular season at home against FAU and FIU.
Thank goodness.
These 2 games, last games of the season, how important is it to finish the season at home, especially fighting for that 2th seed in the conference tournament?
Well, I think more than anything, playing at home. I mean, you want to protect your home court, and you want some momentum. We really hadn't talked about the 2 or the 3 seed. We know we're going to play on Thursday. That's what one of our goals was. That was back a month and a half, 2 months ago. We've accomplished that. Right now, I think the most important thing, Allen, is having some momentum going into the tournament. Let's play these last 2 games well, and let's go into the tournament with a little momentum.
Saturday's going to be senior day for your girls. Talk about the seniors and what they've meant to you.
Well, I've got 3, and then I've got Jordan and Eric. You know, it's an exciting day, but it's also a sad day to know that they're not going to be back on this court. Tiana Porter, I wish we could have another year out of her. Tiana is got a tremendous talent, great kid, good student, good family. You know, she's a little different type player that I've had before, but I love her. Caroline Warden, you know, they should write a book about how she came here and her determination and attitude that I'm going to play here, and I don't care what you say, I can play in Conference USA. With me telling her no, you can't, but she came in and proved she could, been on scholarship since she's been here and been a fantastic leader, comes from a good family, just a good kid. I mean, good kid. Bria, another story, kind of got messed on coming out of high school, messed on coming out of junior college. Kim Bruton hung in there with her, and even more than I did. And NCAA granted her a waiver to come to Middle Tennessee, and she's come here and she's been a model student. She makes good grades, good leader, does the right thing, and just plays, just has a passion for the game of basketball, loves to come to practice every day. It's what you want. I mean, you don't get that often. But with these young ladies that are graduating, I've got that. And they're going to leave their mark, like most of them do. They're going to leave their mark. But we're excited about the next two games, and I'm sure they're excited about playing in the next two games. And probably if you ask them what's on their mind is we got to win these games. You know, it's not what's going to come to me or how many pats on the backs I'm going to get. It's we got to win these games. We got to do the right thing. We got to get invested in our scout. We got to get invested in who we're guarding, and executing our offense, and blocking out and running the floor. That's probably what's on their mind, and that's what makes them special.
A degree is more than a piece of paper. Your college experience should be exciting, engaging. You should feel proud of your university. With over 140 majors taught by a highly respected and caring faculty and hands-on classes and state-of-the-art facilities, MTSU provides you the training and expertise you need to excel. Middle Tennessee State University is devoted to your success. Discover the MTSU difference. Become True Blue.
So last week you told me the three keys for this past weekend's games were going to be rebounding, guarding the dribble, and the ball movement. Do you feel like those were the three key areas that led to Western's victory on Thursday?
You know, I thought Western played good. It was a typical Western Middle Tennessee game. I thought they played really well early. We made a great comeback, showed a lot of toughness, took the lead. And I thought Western down the stretch really made some big plays. And but you know, we just they beat us rebounding the ball, something we turned around against Marshall. So, but I told, I looked at our team, and we've won 9 out of 10 against Western coming in that game, and we'd won 6 or 7, just kind of like that game unfolded.
One key play that stuck out to probably everybody's mind in this arena was Perrin's dunk. If you look at it, he had 1 rebound against Western, he had 1 rebound against UAB, and they were both, just monster putback dunks. How do you keep him going to the offensive glass and convince him to commit to rebounding? Yeah,
and that's why he didn't play very well against Western or UAB, because that was his only 2 rebounds, were just those 2 spectacular plays, and that's what we talked about, is that a guy can make those spectacular plays, needs to be getting 7, 8, 9 rebounds, and when he's played well, he's rebounded the ball better. And the next night against Marshall, he had 5, which was better, but still, for us to play well, Perrin needs to be a guy that's getting 6, 8, 9 rebounds a game.
Last thing on the Western game, Giddy Potts, 2nd career double-double, 19 points, 12 rebounds. Obviously, we didn't know when that game ended. It would be his last regular season game. Can you just talk about his night on both ends of the floor, obviously scoring, which everybody knows he can do, but also going to get rebounds?
Well, he's, again, it doesn't matter if you're a 50% three-point shooter. If you rebound the ball well, you're going to play well. And so, and then same thing with Giddy. He played great against Auburn. He had 9 rebounds. The other night, he had 12 rebounds. He's really the only guy that went back and rebounded the ball with 2 hands. And, we thought it was a bloody nose. He played the rest of the game. And it was evaluated the next day, they're having a concussion-type symptoms, and he's getting evaluated daily. He's doing better, so we hope Giddy can still make some good progress.
Checking off your list of those 3 keys was, ball movement and rebounding. Against Marshall, you guys did get an 83-74 win. You look at the rebounding margin, 36-27, and then you guys also had 14 assists to 28 field goals. Again, is that list that you really just look forward in a game at the end, that you check off those boxes to see why you guys won the game?
Yeah, rebounding will always indicate energy. I thought the ball moved a lot better, especially in the first half. Went from side to side. We played a lot more unselfish. The ball didn't stick. And in the second half, toward the last 6 or 7 minutes, I thought we got back to good ball movement. But we had to have it, especially without Giddy and Jacob, to beat a quality Marshall team.
Without Giddy and Jacob, you have minutes there, and Aldana's foot really stepped up with his 10 points. Can you talk about his impact, during that game, and also going forward with FIU and FAU this coming weekend without Giddy?
Yeah, I think that Adonis, he's got a physicalness about him. What we got to do is have him play with a physicalness without fouling, and then play with a physicalness and understand the details of playing, following scouts, executing offense. And he did that the best he's done it all year against Marshall. And sometimes it takes certain guys a little bit longer. His practice habits have gotten better, but he gives us a kind of that undersized 4 or 5 that can match up with a lot of people. And you're right, 10 and 6 was a great number for him off the bench.
Last week of the regular season, everybody wants to get momentum heading into that conference tournament. What has been your key emphasis this week in practice?
Well, we've done a lot of toughness things since June. And if you don't really have the toughness part in your team right now, I think it's a lot of mental. I think it's mental. I think it's emotion. I think it's being fresh. So we're going to do small parts and pockets of physicalness in our practice. But we want guys to be mentally fresh. And we're going to talk about how we're going to guard different things and go 4 or 5 minutes of physical play and guard certain actions, and then go back to a lot of skill development, 5-on-0 stuff. And so hopefully that leads you into feeling good and having really good emotion, feeling fresh. And I think that's what it boils down to in March.
Heading into this FIU-FAU swing, you lose 15 points a game, obviously, with Giddy, hopefully having him back for the conference tournament. For this weekend, is there a certain player that you look to try to fill those points, or do you look at your whole guard, all your guards with Quay, X, Aldonis, Ed, and Jaquan?
Well, we need our core guys to play good, and they did that. Darnell, Perrin, and Reggie. Those 3 guys have got to play well, and they need to score points and rebounds. And then you're right, we need Jaquan Raymond to be solid to point, Quay, but then we need either Ed or X, one of those 2 guys. We got to get another scorer in the perimeter. And Ed did in the first half. X was 0 for 5, but X has had some good moments. So hopefully one of those 2 would be great to have both of them. But hopefully those guys can lend some really good quality minutes for us.
If you look at the conference standings, it's La Tech, Marshall, and us at 11 and 5. Old Dominion there at 10 and 6. So this is not only important to get momentum heading into conference, but also for seeding. What do you tell your guys, as far as heading into this weekend with the importance of this road swing? Because, you're fighting for that 2, 3, 4 seed to hopefully get a bye into Thursday. Yeah,
they know exactly where we stand. We put it on the board. We show the standings weekly, and so those guys know exactly what's at stake. Old Dominion's right there. Obviously we're trying to play to get better, but that bye into the quarterfinals is big, and not to play on Wednesday. If you have to, then that's what we did last year. But they know exactly what's at stake, and that's the beauty of conference races. There's a lot of things going on around college basketball this week.